Hey Marcelo, how you doing? Not too bad, my friend, not too bad. Just doing some rendering and some coding, and I thought I might as well stream so I can chat to people while I work. Very good. Very good. Whereabouts are you, Banjaxed? In Ireland, oh, okay. Not too far from myself then. What about yourself, Marcelo? Argentina. Blimey, welcome. Slightly further away than Banjaxed. Hey Gobel. How's it going, man? I am just doing some location renders for one of my games. Back to my first game. This is, I'm doing re-renders for the entire thing, as well as basically recoding the entire thing. Storyline largely remains the same, but new locations. This is the motel. I'm keeping it in smooth shaded mode because there's pictures on the walls that have things that can't be shown on YouTube. It's a life sim, really. Right, she's loaded. There's a number of. It's a wide branching game. It's exploring various different aspects of the human psyche, I suppose you could say. It's an adult themed game, but it explores a lot of the more taboo topics that tend to come up. No, this is DAS Studio. Using DAS Studio and RenPy. I'm going to start using Unreal. I've got Unreal installed, so I might as well use it, but for the time being, I'm just gonna. I need to finish off some. What in God's name's gone on there? Okay. Right, I see what's happened. Select the correct character. Oopsie. I just applied her outfit, including hair, to a picture on the wall. Yeah, I'm keen to get involved in the more sort of live action game thing, but I need to finish some of these bad boys. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Some of the demos that I saw of them demonstrating the... I mean, it's as close to photorealistic as I've ever seen some of the things that you can do in that game now. That game engine is insane. So good. Right, why is that not attached to her? Right, let's see. Now close that down. There we go, that's better. Nice. Right, where are you going to be sitting, Lucy? So I built this set I'll be honest, there is a couple of things on this set that I want to change that that's unfortunate as a place to zoom in. What? Get off her bum. This window being here behind the camera does make this scene look a bit flat, so I may very well swap the wall that's here with the wall that's here. Might swap them over so that the window is off to one side, and then it doesn't create quite the same flatness. It adds a bit more side light, as long as it doesn't clash too much with the shower being there. This is basically a cheap motel set with just got a bed, a couch, a shower, a desk with some power points there in case you want to plug in your laptop or whatever, and then through in this little archway. This is just the entrance. There's a door and a chest of drawers there, but it's meant to be kind of cheap and, I don't want to say use the word sleazy, but it's not an expensive motel. The room's big, but the contents of it not exactly luxurious. So given where the camera is, I have to kind of position my characters accordingly. So if we come back to this camera, obviously there's no point putting her on the couch because she won't be visible. So if she's going to sit, she's probably going to sit on the side of the bed. That's what I'm thinking. Let's have a look. Poses. Files. Poses by function. Sitting. Yeah, she's going to sit on the edge of the bed. I think the bed's high enough that her feet can dangle, so that's good. Hey Chris, how you doing, man? Challenge is always finding poses that aren't unnecessarily smutty for what it is. I mean, a person sitting on a bed shouldn't necessarily be a sexual thing, but glad to hear it, my friend. That'll do. That will do. Ugh. I've got to have my fan on, so if you can hear some background noise, that's what it is. It is absolutely sweltering, considering the weather's not been very good. Okay, let's go back to our perspective view. Let's go back to sitting upright, because right. Oh my goodness, right, why is that? Oh, that'll be why. Right, now I should be able to do this unimpeded. Move this up. It's more or less in the right place. Now I can just rotate her round. It's gonna need some tweaking. I don't know what figure this pose is for, but my god. Do you know what? I'm not liking that pose at all. It just looks... Whoever made that pose wants shooting in the head. Do 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 do. Let's have a look in products. So much of a chore. I'm getting to the stage where I may just actually create my own pack of poses, just natural poses. This one. No, it's just a really big bed. It's a very big bed. It's not necessary, really. I mean, I could get away with having a smaller one, but it makes doing certain scenes a little easier. You're not wrong there, my friend. You are not wrong. It's very much a patient man's game. Is she now hovering off the bottom of the bed? Yes. Down, 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 down. Oh, now I've gone too far. Egypt. To about there. One thing I will say about the lighting in this room that's useful is that because there's no hard lighting coming in through the window, or either window, it means that shadowing these things is a lot easier. Oh, too much, too much. Nope, 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 nope. There. Right, let's unbend the toes. Now she looks mostly okay. I think this one we need to bend a little bit more. And then this foot's gonna hang. How does that look from our camera? It's got a masculine pose, I will be honest, but that hand's making good contact with that leg. That forearm is slightly embedded in that leg, so we need to fix that. I am indeed, Ingvar. I am indeed. I feel like she needs to sink into the bed a little bit more, just because it's a bed, It looks like she's sitting on a hard surface at the moment, so let's just come down a smidge more. Kind of there. Right, if I create a... do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to hide those pictures on the wall. Oh no, I've apparently deleted them. Oh no, they're there. There they are. Right, now we can go back into NVIDIA Iron mode and actually see what's happening. Booyah! So I hope everyone's doing good. Those of you in this hemisphere who've been up most of the day, hope you've not had too stressful of a day. Those of you who are just about to start your day, have a good one. Right, let's have a looky. Give that a few moments just to tidy up a little bit. I'm just trying to ascertain whether or not it looks like she's hovering above the bed or not. Hover. Yeah, mostly natural. I have spent a little bit of time trying to balance the interior lights with the HDRI to make it look as close to realistic as possible. Oh, grazie. Grazie. I wonder if that bed could do with shrinking a little bit, maybe. Maybe just shave like 5% off of it. Perhaps. Gotta find the bloody thing. Yeah, that's all the walls, cupboard, bathroom stuff, mirror, rug, pillow. Where in God's name did I put the bed? That's literally just the floor. Wall, ceiling lights, light instance. There it is, bed. Absolutely. Absolutement. Let's try shaving. I don't want to shave too much off because those pillows look like they're about the right size. Let's just make this 95%. I have to grab those pillows and drag them down a bit now. Back into smooth shaded mode for you. Are we still all on the floor? Or have we started hovering above it again? Looks like it's on the floor. That's good. Pillow. No, it doesn't. Building the scenes nowadays doesn't take too much time. It's a fairly, I don't want to say dull, but it's a fairly sort of slow process, but creating scenes from scratch is generally, I prefer doing that to using pre-built ones, because there are lazy devs out there who do use just pre-built sets, so you end up playing 3 VNs and they've all got the same scenery, and that's just boring. And it doesn't take a great deal to build a set. You only need 4 walls and a roof, and then the rest of it you can fill with furniture and stuff from other sets. It's no biggie. I just prefer people who try and be a bit original. Right. It's better. Let's back to here. Go back to iRay and have a looky. Bed looks a little bit more like it's the right size now. It's just 5% too big. Cool, so that is good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a canvas and render out that as an avatar. To advanced canvases, yarp, beauty, nodes, create a node list. Let's call that it depends on what's in the scene, really. It really does. That out the way. Right, so we've got Lucy and all who sail in her. Oh, I see. Okay. That's fine. This face shield doesn't actually need to be there because it's one I somehow accidentally fitted to the rest of the image. Right, so that's done. In with Lucy, click alpha. Now let's change the image size, lest I forget. No point rendering this too big because oversampling something that small would be silly. Ooh, excuse me, 1920 by 1080 render. Give it a moment to have a bit of a think. Stayed in GPU, thank you very much. It shouldn't take too long. Hopefully. It's just rendering her. Yep. Mostly just borrowed from other scenes and stuff that I've bought. So I've got loads of environments and things from the store, so I've just used assets from that mainly. Right, so while that's doing its thing, I can have a think about some code. 90% of my time when I'm coding my own games is spent staring at a wall, trying to decide the best way around a problem or a situation. No, making furniture is not overly time consuming. You've got to learn how to use the software, so Blender or Maya or whatever. You've got to learn how to use those in order to be able to do it, but it's not time consuming. Inanimate objects are very simple, especially things like beds, because they're very geometric. There's a lot of sharp edges, apart from on the mattress and the pillows, but again, you can mimic that quite easily in Blender. It's not difficult. Characters is the really hard part. Anything alive, so characters, animals, plants, they're the things that are a challenge. Man-made stuff is pretty simple. I've got a series on Blender on my channel. If you watch that, that will give you the tools you need to be able to create your own furniture, mostly in Blender. If you pay attention, you can use those. Oh my goodness, what's going on there? Goodbye to that. Okay, into my classes.rpy. Sometimes looking at the code helps me visualize what I'm trying to accomplish in terms of what I'm going to program in, because Deeper is a game that has a lot more to it than most of my other VNs. I'm going to put that to bed let that sit in the back of my brain and stew for a little while, I think. Bit of green tea. Lovely, lovely. Is anybody unsure of how I've done what I've done? I'm aware that there might be people who haven't watched all the videos on my channel. The short answer is no. If you buy the license allowing you to use it for stuff, then it's fine, but I'm just rendering out this canvas to use this as a PNG image button in game. Essentially, if you are going to sell your visual novel, you need to make sure that you are covered in terms of your characters. Daz Studio is a very sketchy platform on that front, because they own the copyrights to the rigging. The characters, the person who made the characters owns the copyright to the character. You own the copyright to the images you create, but if your image contains artwork created by somebody else, i.e. a photograph or a piece of 3D something artwork that could be copyrighted, then you can get bent over and shafted for it. So I would err on the side of safety and make your own characters, to be honest. Most of the visual novels that you see that get away with it are only doing so because they fly quite low under the radar. I mean, it's not like there's people sat there in a dungeon somewhere looking at your visual novel for copyright or for IP or something like that. So it would have to actually be brought to the attention of the copyright holder, and for them to take action for you to be punished for using someone else's characters or someone else's artwork. But again, you don't want to take the risk, because copyright infringement or intellectual property infringement can be very, very expensive. There's cases out there that have paid out in the region of about $250,000 and things like that. So is it worth it? No. Well, the people selling it, they're making art and they're selling it. It's up to you what you do with it. I mean, quite a lot of people just use Daz Studio for hobby. As I say, I'm not an authority on these things. I'm certainly not in a position to give you permission. So, best thing to do is to contact Daz Productions or whoever you've bought the characters from and ask for their permission. Maybe you'll get it, maybe you won't, maybe you'll have to buy a license, I don't know. Just be smart, cover your ass. If in doubt, ask permission from the person who can give it. Oh, a bit stiff today. My neck's giving me grief because I went in the gym this morning. Didn't lift any weight with my neck, so I don't know why my neck of all things is stiff, but there you go. I have seen people doing weights on their necks, which I find very bizarre. They wear this weird cage thing over their head, almost like a rugby cap. And then it's got weight that hangs off of it. Weird. It's better to find out early in the game's development than it is to wait till the end when you have to change everything. You don't have to redo all your renders because you didn't find out if you had permission to use them. Save yourself the heartache. Yeah, an interactive license is not necessarily what you're after. It might be, but it might not. Again, only people that can really answer is the people you're buying it from. Contact Daz Productions and just say, look, what can I actually do with an interactive license? just write to them and say, look, this is what I intended to do. Is this covered by the interactive license? It would certainly save you. I know it sounds like it's a lot of hard work, Ingvar, but it'd save yourself a considerable amount of aggravation if you just made your own assets. Make your own characters, make your own assets, and then you don't have to worry about if someone, you know, if it's copyright or not, because you own the copyright to it all. And you have to look at it from the angle that, like, the majority of the visual novels that you see out there that are using other people's stuff, I mean, it's a pretty incestuous bloody industry anyway, because people using each other's characters and all that sort of thing. You have to look at those people mostly tend to be flying on some very sketchy sort of grey legal area anyway, so if they get caught for something, it's probably not going to be copyright. So it really depends on what kind of visual novel you're creating. Yeah, she's almost grain-free. Almost. I get a lot of comments along the lines of, well, not necessarily exactly what you're saying, Ingvar, but DAZ Productions survive. Their entire business model relies on you buying assets and paying for licenses and stuff for the free software that they've provided you with. So if in doubt, the chances are the answer to your question is it's probably going to involve you paying in some way, shape or form. It's better to pay up front than to get caught though. It's the same with like music and YouTube videos and stuff. I have to pay a company for the rights to use their music in my videos, because otherwise you get copy striked, and on a platform like YouTube, copyright infringements are generally not looked upon very favourably. I haven't read the interactive license, so I don't know. I'm just saying, I'm just giving you the warning that if in doubt, check. Don't just go ahead and do it because you believe something to be true, because it may not be the case. And as I said, copyright infringement is an expensive thing to get caught for. It doesn't take 5 minutes to write an email to DAZ Productions and just say, am I okay to do this with this product? Take them about 5 months to get back to you, but it doesn't take long to write the email. Do 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 do. Damn it, I've just loaded Photoshop and I've just realised it's got the motel that this character is in has artwork on the walls with boobs in it, so oh well, let's just close that down again then. You'll just have to take my word for it that this is totally working. Right, cancel that because that's done. Remember to switch to PNG. Right, it is going to be yes, yes indeed. I'll just do that. Don't need to do anything else. Save. Sweet. One thing I didn't do in the original version of this was to have the actual MC, the player character, in the scene, so let's remedy that. Someone asked me earlier on about Lux Render or something. I did look into it, and the answer is a big fat no. Big fat no. Looking at the results that you can get from Lux Render, they're not any different to what you can get with a properly set up iRacing. And you have to pay $50 for the privilege of having the plugin that lets you use Lux Render in Dash Studio, so the short answer is no, it's not worth it. Negative. Neggers cheggers, as we used to say. Okay. Oh, there we go. The head has fit to his head. I thought I was going to do a weird thing, and sometimes it's weird. It sort of sits inside the skull cap. Very peculiar. So this one, the one that I'm currently working on, it's coming. It's a big project. Big old project, so it's going to take a while. Right, where shall I have him? I'm not even just chilling out, leaning on the wall on a couch. Poses by function, leaning. Hey Neville, how's it going, man? God, why do these poses all look so bloody camp? What's wrong with just having a dude leaning on a wall? Why does it always look like dudes trying to pick up another dude? Into perspective. Just reminded myself of Tropic Thunder then. What a great film. I'm the dude that's playing the dude disguised as another dude. Should his bum be on the wall? Answers on a postcard. Just touch the wall there. Got to move his arm anyway, because whatever's going on there is going on there. Yeah, man, this one should be saved. The only reason I didn't save Sunday's one is because it was quite short and I wasn't feeling it. I was bloody knackered, if I'm being honest. This one I should. GPU is an RTX 3080. My CPU is an Intel i9. I have 32 gigabytes of Corsair gaming RAM, and that's all she wrote. What's going on with his shorts, man? What's going on with his shorts? We're not really sure what's going on with the fingers as well. Ah, right, this is the old character model that's all messed up. Ah, right, so I'm going to have to edit, bigger, rigging, adjust rigging to shape, accept. Now watch all of his joints snap to where they're supposed to be, and his pose changes. Feck. What's going on there? It's like he's got a vagina in the back of his knee. It's weird. Come on. Man, that is a long way away from where it started. Close enough for government work. Kind of looks a bit creepy, like he's a detective in a film noir, eavesdropping on some conversation that's happening around the corner. One does have a vivid imagination. It's something though. Oh crap, do you know what? I never checked. Are his feet actually on the floor? Let's have a look. No. In a nutshell. Why is he 2.34 centimeters off the floor? Let's put him on. Oh, that's why his feet's sinking into the floor now. There. She'll do. Right, on to render settings. We need to create a new node list. This one's going to be called Jake. Let's edit Jake. Accept. Right, now we can change our node list to Jake. Just hit render and see what happens. And it's worked. It's rendering Jake. This might take a bit longer because he's in a sort of a shaded area. He had to be changed. I changed Lucy character a bit, gave her a tweak, added some more detail to her face, a bit more depth, because I felt like she looked too plastic. Jake looked too much like some kind of mutant because his head was massive. That wasn't originally intended. He was meant to be ugly as buggery, but in hindsight, made him look a little bit more attractive. Still got a slightly larger than average head, but his head's not quite like Invaders from Mars kind of size anymore. So there is now a Discord, so feel free to visit thundorn.com. There's a link to the Discord on there, along with a whole bunch of other stuff. The Discord is really just a place to, you know, chill. I got rid of the last one because I got, well, there were two things that were annoying me. Firstly, all anyone ever did was came to the channel to complain. And the second one was that I just got spammed with people trying to DM me all the time. Just like, dude. Basically trying to bypass my one-on-one tuition rule by spamming me with asking questions. You're very quiet this evening. Is it tea time? I don't imagine it's tea time in Argentina. Oh. Right, okay. That's a bit unexpected. How do I get rid of that? Let's turn that off. Don't even know why that was on. Do apologise. It's one of my old things from way back when I was doing this more seriously for a living. PM in Argentina, yeah. Well, it's mainly, it depends on if you have tea for lunch, I suppose, doesn't it? Ah. Anything exciting? Mussels. I was going to ask for you to cook me some, but I'm going to be honest. I'm not a mussels fan. I had some when I was very young, and it's funny how you get put off things as a kid. Like, someone gave me mussels and told me that it was something else, and so I bit into the mussels expecting it to be something else. And when it turned out to be, that just put me off mussels for life. I know it's weird, but it's the same with like orange squash. Someone gave me some orange squash once and told me it was orange juice, and because I was expecting orange juice and I drank orange squash, that put me off orange squash. Weird. Oh, there you go. That answers your question then. Nice. I believe the interactive license is more for people who are going to actually use like the 3D character in a game as a game character. Yeah, I lots of my friends like they eat mussels and all that sort of thing. Marcelo, it's just one of those things I just can't. There's not many foods I'm fussy about, but seafood's kind of like seafood's my kryptonite. I'm not a big fan of seafood. I'll eat prawns. To be honest, I'll eat most anything that's put in front of me, but if you put mussels in front of me, I will just... that's one thing I just won't. I had chips, sausage and chips for dinner. Not particularly adventurous or healthy. As a gym goer I should know better, but I was just feeling lazy. So I had sausage and chips. Borscht, nice. I think I had that when I went to Romania. I tried. Whenever I go traveling, and I used to travel a lot, I used to insist on eating and drinking some local stuff. Barbecues are always a win. Yeah, I had borscht in Romania. I had some stuff as well that was like liver ravioli. I couldn't finish that. The borscht I ate, but the so they brought out like what's like a teapot, and it had big bits of ravioli, or at least what I thought was ravioli in it. So I just thought it's ravioli without tomato sauce. So I bit into it, and it was liver inside, and that was like. Again, probably because I was expecting something else. Oh, okay. It's a nice place. I like the people. Very friendly people in general. Very hospitable. But also still quite old-fashioned in the... Like in the UK now, people sort of in their 20s just... It's not everybody, but there seems to be a lot of people now who are so first world privileged, you know. Very entitled. I've been around that sort of area. I've got a lot of friends from... I had some Serbian friends in one of my previous jobs. They were good fun. I enjoyed that very much. Some Macedonians. Had a Czech girlfriend. My Serbian friends were good fun. We used to drink quite a lot before when I was a drinker, and they used to teach me how to say rude things in Serbian. Only one of them I can remember, and I certainly can't say it on YouTube. Right, I think he's relatively noise free, so we can get rid of that one. And we'll call this one Jake Motel.png. Save. Nice. if I ever win the lottery, I'm going to move to Antigua. I know it's a pretty obvious place to suggest, isn't it? But I've been there a few times when I was a travelling photographer, and it's just such a nice place, so chill. He looks good where he is. Let's see how they look together. Make sure it doesn't look overly rapey. Oh no, hang on a minute. I've got to control click, otherwise things don't appear. Yeah, she is. Good thing about putting him there is he's not encroaching on any of the places where any of the other characters are likely to be. So he's in a safe place where he can just be there when he's in the room, when you're in the room. And it doesn't matter what the rest of the characters are doing, because the chances are they're not going to be in this very small sliver of the image. Let's go to smooth shaded. Better safe than sorry. Characters. Is anyone doing anything exciting this evening? Anything vaguely different to what I'm doing? There she is. Oops, I just punched the microphone. Apologies. Yeah. Yeah, it does a bit, doesn't it, Neville? You have made me think about something, though. I have had a thought. I wonder. Right, I'm going to put a outfit. Oh no, that's wrong. Oh, I'm going to regret doing that. That's going to take forever to load. I could put another couch in the room. Could do that. (2:43 AM). So it's what time? Where in God's name are you, Neville? Apart from getting a coffee. Oh god, I knew this was gonna... I was gonna regret doing that. I accidentally just applied all my Genesis 8 female stuff to a male character. Yes. Deverell. That sounded really stern, didn't it? Yes, yes, that bloody is. It just ruins your renders, man. Takes all the detail out of them. Right, let's get rid of those. Right, now we've got the correct character selected, let's apply them to her. It'll take another 20 minutes. Talk amongst yourselves. That studio is definitely a patience game, it's a waiting game. To push out a decent render, you just have to wait the time that you've got to wait. Using a denoiser doesn't make your renders any quicker, it just makes them crapper. I remember when the denoiser first got added to that studio, and for like 6 months all you got was these really horrible flat cartoony looking images. Like all the VNs at the time were being pushed out and they just had, you could see they'd used denoiser, they'd like done 3 iterations and then denoised the whole thing, and it's just like, oh my god. I was a culprit, I was just as bad as everyone else. Certainly not climbing up onto a pedestal. But now I've realised I've learned the error of my ways. Oh. Thursday morning, South Australia. Ah, okay. Cool. It's one place I've not been that I've always wanted to go. I've not done Australia or any of the, like, not been to China or Japan. Always wanted to do Japan, Vietnam, China, Australia. I know that Australia and Japan and China aren't exactly close to each other, but they're all around the other side of the world from me, so... Okay, let's give her an outfit. Which outfit shall we give her? That is the question. Laura is the one character in game who doesn't have a fixed look. Everyone else has a look. Laura does not. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, that works. Right, couch. Couchy. Coucherino, where is it? Donde está? If I duplicate that. Duplicate notes. Come out of my camera, remember to come out the camera. Drag this over here. So I'm thinking I could kind of use this couch as like a little mini room divider, because this is the bathroom over here. And it's not unusual to have a couch on a rug in the middle of the room. I mean, well, it kind of is, but might be able to make it work. Might be able to. Oops, that'll be the ceiling. And if I take the other one and I move that across that way a smidge, or better still, does that work? Oh. Hey, Raiden. Right, let's leave that couch where it is. This one can still be utilised, but I think realistically, give me the strength. There we go. Yeah, pretty much. Fiddly dee. Thing is, with having a black leather couch in the middle of the room, it's kind of a black void of nothingness. At least if I had it maybe here. Maybe now that looks wrong. Not feeling it. Not feeling it. Yeah. Let's just get Laura sorted. Sorted, girl. I think he's going to lean her against this table. No, I don't mean it like that, you pervs. Summertime and the living's easy. Has anybody not seen Black Widow yet? This is actually a visual novel. This is one of the new renders for my oldest visual novel. I'm sort of re-rendering everything. Highly recommended, Big B. Highly recommended. It's very good. I think Marvel at this point have made up for the I don't want to. Captain Marvel was a good film, but it was somewhat ruined by the tirade that Brie Larson went on. It wasn't even a tirade, she just opened her mouth and the wrong things came out. But Black Widow sort of makes up for that. Yeah, it's a really good film. David Harbour is hilarious. Whoa! Don't know what happened there. In fact, the it's kind of it's funny. It's a funny film. Not in. You've got to see it. I don't want to spoil it. It's a good film. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I enjoyed Captain Marvel as well. As I say, Brie Larson's good actress and easy on the eyes as well, but Marvel really needed to put a leash on her. She just alienated so people when she started going off on her little adventure. Shall we say? Shall we call it an adventure? That dress is going to annoy the crap out of me, so let's give her a new one. Just do this one. I'm sure it's fine. Pardon me. Bye-bye. Right, that's a little bit better. It's not quite so much crap hanging down the bottom there now. Where'd she move to? Oh, she's not quite up against the table anymore. Almost. Right, let's have this just dangling down. Right, now it looks like she's hovering above the table. works. Right, let's try and find a morph for that skirt. Being as a women's skirt. Oh, it's an I-ray. An I-ray 8D force. Interesting. Oh, don't want to go any further there. I hide Lucy and Jake. And I simulate from the memorized pose. This could go really wrong. No, I think it might work. Yeah. So yeah, Black Widow, good film. WandaVision, yeah. WandaVision's a freaking slow burn. Eventually, it all sort of like comes together, but the first like 3 episodes are just mind-numbing. Falcon and the Winter Soldier started off strong and then went to, well, however, the Winter Soldier, Falcon and the Winter Soldier have now opened the door potentially for the Punisher to come back, which I am excited about, because the Netflix Punisher series was amazing. See, in the comics, the Punisher is the person who killed the information broker. Or the power broker, or whatever the name is, but the Punisher is the person who killed them. Right, what is going on there? She got a ponytail sticking out of her back like the frickin' Hunchback of Notre Dame. Let's see if we can resolve that. Just ponytail. Come on, where are you? Wind. Let's see if we can use the wind. Bangs, bangs, bangs. Front hair, tail back. No. Okay. Ponytail base, ponytail upper. There you go. Problem solved. After a fashion. Right, let's go to I-ray and just check that this doesn't look completely mental. Me and my girl got this relationship. I love her so bad, but she treats me like... Looks alright. Looks okay. Smooth shaded. Come back to our render settings. Create another new node list. Laura, won't you give me some time? Accept that. Change my node list to that one. And riggedy render. Okay. Did my live stream just reset for everybody else? I don't know. I honestly don't know, my friend. I've not been on the DAS Studio forums for a while. I know there were rumours that they were going to phase out GTX support, but that seems like a fairly narrow sort of or short-sighted thing to do, given that the majority of their customer base is still using GTX cards. Given that most RT, well, I mean, if you've got a 2080 RTX, that's one thing, but I know there's still massive waiting lines for the RTX 3080, which is insane. And it depends on the day, Big B. Because I don't do game development as a job, I still have my full-time job IRL, and I'm still now running 3 YouTube channels, incredibly. Some weeks I won't render at all, unless I'm recording for the YouTube channel. Other weeks, like this week, where I've got a little bit more free time than usual, I can afford to do more renders and obviously more live streams and such. Yeah, I don't imagine that they would phase out GTX cards purely because so many people like. I was lucky. I put my order in for my RTX 3080, sorry, on the day of release, and it came out. I got it 3 months later, but anybody who was, you know, a few days after me would have been waiting for 4 or 5 months for their cards. It's interesting. Might be one of those things that you need to investigate, maybe on the DAS Studio forums or something. There might be a reason for it. Might be a driver issue. Problem is that the RTX now, the 3080's now been, people are scalping it and they're jacking up the prices. The recommended retail price hasn't changed since the day of release, but people are aware of the demand and are buying it and being a-holes and selling it for double the amount. It's insane. Yes. I've used it 9 times out of 10 when I post something on the forums is because I've been a complete bellend and forgotten to do something really basic. And then I go on the forums and go, I can't figure this out. And then someone will go, yeah, you forgot to press something. And I'm like, crap. Oh. Just ignore the fact that I run a YouTube where I teach people how to use the software. I don't think DAS Productions are my biggest fan anyway, because I'm quite an outspoken critic of some of the things they've done over the years. They definitely know who I am though, because I've emailed them before asking for comment on things that they've done. And they've been very diplomatic in the way that they've worded it, because they know I will read it straight back to you as it's written. I believe so. I believe they are. Some child outside my window screaming. I'm sure it's fine. It's yeah, on my channel dashboard I think there is a link to my, I want to say my photography channel. Ironically, the channel that I post least on. Funnily enough though, my photography channel is the channel that I have the most popular of all my videos on. Because it seems to have gone viral with, like, Pinays. Crazy, it's a video I did on faking blur in images. And it's got like nearly 1 million views. Which is almost more than all my other videos combined. Mad. Mad, mad, mad. By the way, are my lips and my voice synced? Because I was recording a video using Streamlabs instead of normal OBS earlier on, and it took me ages to balance the two. Maybe like a 300 millisecond delay between the two, but I suppose my face is so small on your screens that it's barely noticeable. Right, roger that. Maybe it's just when recording, perhaps. Yeah, the gaming channel is got 79 subscribers. It's been there for ages, but I just never bothered uploading any videos. I did I think that apart from a couple of videos I've done recently, the most recent video prior to them was like 2017, and it was a video on Ark Survival Evolved, and which wood gatherer was the best. Yeah, how weird would that be if it turned out that I was just an IRA character? Although, let's be honest, if I was going to be a simulated character, I wouldn't pick this face. Got a face for radio. Funnily enough, actually, I got my first voiceover gig. I say first, it's my first proper professional voiceover gig, which is going to be fun. I'd like to do more of it, to be honest, because I quite enjoy doing it. I'm a teacher for work now, and I do teaching on YouTube, although I prefer to call it codependent learning, I tell you what I've learned. Sometimes you teach me things. I'm now doing voiceovers for other people's like LinkedIn Learning and stuff like that. It's going to be awesome. Hi, Rab. Not three bad, my friend. Not three bad. Just doing a bit of rendering. Thought I'd come online, chat to you guys for a little while. The AI voices, I honestly don't know. Like, they're close, aren't they? They're close to the real thing, but you can still hear that it's a simulated voice. Because the cadence is just not quite right. Like, I talk in a very specific way. It's not just the sound of my voice when I speak, it's also my intonations. Like, I always sound like I'm being sarcastic when I'm not. And that's something that a computer wouldn't be able to mimic, or at least at the moment can't mimic. But they are an improvement. It's getting quite scary, you know, like when you talk to a Siri, you say Siri set an alarm or something like that, and it responds in a very realistic sounding voice, and you're just like, whoa, okay. But then you listen to the big brains and they all think we're in a simulation now, don't they? They think we're in the Matrix already. I've got an account on Fiverr where I Yeah, you're not wrong. As far as doing voice acting for an entire visual novel, I mean, I'm not opposed to doing it. Yeah, I know it's a lot of work because, you know, there's a lot of scripting and stuff that has to happen. As far as voice acting goes, I think I'd need some practice. Like, doing voiceovers is one thing, because you just talk really calmly into the microphone like this, and you tell someone something really horrific about their lives, but you sound like you're saying it in a friendly way, so it doesn't matter. That's one thing, but actual acting is is a very different thing. Thank you, you're very kind. I think Laura here looks like I'm gonna have to do a bit of patchwork on a shoe. There's a slight nick in that, but that won't be a hassle to fix that. That'll be easy. Easy life. So my biggest problem when I first started developing this game was I was trying to do way too many things that were largely unnecessary. Having given a good deal of thought to it and developing other game engines since, I think what I'm going to do is change the way the game works ever so slightly. The storyline's going to remain the same. A lot of the scenes are going to be the same, just doing re-renders and things like that, but the behind the scenes stuff is going to be very different. And there's going to be a lot less faffery going on. That was my enthusiasm for creating a really deep and meaningful game got the better of me. But then I was my own worst enemy in a lot of ways, and people automatically assume that the word adult immediately means porn, and that's just not the case. In fact, I got quite a lot of shtick for not having any of that in my game. I was just trying to explain to people that there will be some of that stuff in the game, but that's not the be-all and end-all of the game. Alright guys, I think I'm going to knock it on the head there. I've been going for, I don't know, hour and a half, thereabouts, maybe a bit longer. Really enjoyed chatting to you all this evening though. I'll probably try and get another evening session in some point this week. Might even become a regular thing, and just don't know at this rate. But you've been a pleasure. I've managed to get some stuff done, which is rare for me on a live stream. Normally I get too distracted. Either way, you guys have a great evening, morning, for those of you in Australia and such. And I will, hey, no worries, my pleasure. I will speak to you all very soon, okay guys?